Well, good evening, guys. How y'all doing? Good to see you. Been a while. Michael Blade flew his iFlight ProTech 35 today for the first time, and I love it. God, it's good to see all these new FPV guys coming into the hobby. That's great. I hope you all are having as much fun as I am. So welcome. Good to see you. Glad you could make it. Mike Kinney is here. I see Mel, 400 AGL's in the house. Somebody named Was Blind. Is that somebody we know? If is this a new name perhaps, but hasn't been here before? So welcome. See Mike Nitrain, Artco was here. Jody Drone Chats was always the first. I don't know if he's back yet or not, but here we go. Ed, love my drones. How you doing, buddy? Good to see you. This was an impromptu thing tonight. As you know, I haven't been doing the workshops on a regular basis, taking a little bit of a break, but I want to make an announcement tonight, and I've kind of missed this. You know, you do something for a while, you get tired of it, and then you don't do it and you miss it. So I've missed doing this thing, and I'm going to start doing it again once a week. And unless somebody tells me who I might really be pissing off or conflicting with, I'm thinking about Monday night at 7 p.m. Eastern time. I don't know too many things that actually happen on Monday night, and I think that might be a good time. So unless I probably won't start next Monday, but the Monday after, unless make it tentative, but tentative almost for sure. We'll start doing the workshop 7 o'clock Monday night for 2 hours and see if we can't build up a regular audience again, because these impromptu things are sporadic, and I get a little bit of viewers, but not the old regular crowd that I used to enjoy having. Just Drone Ins is here. Good to see you. Said Michael Blade. That's it. Yeah, we got to starting off with a small crowd, and the reason for this stream tonight is a fellow named Vinney Fallico reached out to me. We met, those of you that were down here in Florida probably remember Vinney. I think he was the young guy running around with all the expensive cameras with the long lenses, if I'm not mistaken. Now I know Stevie, there's another young guy with a lot of cameras. Stevie from New York was running around, but this is Vinney, and Vinney is a photographer and is looking to start to use FPV drones in his work, and he decided he was going to build a Shen drones Squirt with a DJI system in it, and got all the pieces and parts, and it was his first build, and kind of got confused in a few areas and reached out to me and asked if I wouldn't help. And I thought that it might be a lot easier for me to help him if I could actually see what he's doing. And so I thought, hey, what a good excuse for a live stream. So here we are, Friday night, stepping on everybody else's live streams. Sorry about that, but we're going to do it. Michael Blade remembers you, Vinney. Mike Kinney says new FPV flyers will need a workshop like me. Yeah, there's a lot of new flyers, and that's great. And I remember when I was a new flyer, I needed all the help in the world too. So, and I may not know everything about this, but anything that I can do to help, I'd be happy to do it. So without stalling any longer, let me bring Vinney in, and there he is.
Hey, how's it going?
Good, Vinney. How you doing? Say hi to the crowd.
How's it going, guys? Thanks so much for having me in. I really, really appreciate it. As you know, this has been quite the journey, so I really appreciate your time.
Oh, my pleasure. My pleasure. I'm looking for Carlos. I don't see Carlos in here yet tonight. I wonder what happened to him. He's usually right in here at the beginning, but Was Blind, love my drones, been taking care of. So Was Blind evidently knows Ed, so okay, I guess he's probably not a troll, so we'll go ahead and give him a blue wrench so he can fit in with the rest of us. There you are. All right, Tell us about your channel, your YouTube channel.
YouTube channel, I don't actually have a full-on YouTube channel. I help Kelly with Ready Set Drone quite a bit, but as far as a full-on YouTube channel for myself personally, I don't really have one. I guess I do.
Okay, I was trying to give you a plug here.
No, I appreciate it, but it unfortunately doesn't really exist.
Dan Drone Pool is here. How you doing? Good evening. Good to see you. Okay, so hold up. Let's see. Let's see what you got. I'm gonna make you a little bigger here, so we can see. Hold up your drone. Let's see what.
So this is what we're working with now.
You got it plugged in, huh?
Yeah, I got it all hooked up, and ready to go for you.
Is that you don't have it plugged into the flight battery, just the
yeah, I don't have the battery in yet. I'm just running it straight into Betaflight as of right now. So it's the Shendrone Squirt build, and I have the DJI air unit and just the full package of DJI. And yes, so far the way that installing the flight controller had to work was, if you can see here, there's this big capacitor on the right side. And in order to get that to fit, I had to turn the flight controller, let's see, I guess counterclockwise.
Sideways,
and so that, yeah, and so that changed all the motors. And so in the process of doing that, I looked it up, and based off of what I saw, it didn't seem very complicated. I went into the M mixes, which is what we kind of talked about before, and I couldn't get that to work. And it seemed relatively straightforward. It was just basic plus one or minus one on the different motors, and it was reading right, but it was still, the motors were still not spinning in the correct way.
Okay, well, what we're going to do,
then we did that resource thing, and then it was all
we're going to do the resource. We're going to remap the 4 motor resources, and it's a pretty straightforward process, but you have to be organized. You have to draw yourself pictures on a piece of paper while you're doing it and take notes. And then we'll go through it step by step. And I think that before we actually start fooling with the motors, you also said that you got a warning message in Betaflight that told you that the ESC protocol wasn't set. Did you fool with that yet?
Yeah, I did. Let's see. I did get that up and running. I think I'm back to square one. So I got the motor spinning up now, and I got an image through the air unit, which is good. Okay. So yeah, coming from where I was, I'm back to normal now, as opposed to being minus 20.
Okay, so here's what we're going to do. If you got the motor spinning, then we'll do the resources, and then we'll start with Betaflight, and we'll go through it like soup to nuts, right on down, and try to get it as close as where it'll at least fly. Then you may have to adjust your rates, but for a quad like that, it ought to fly okay on the default PIDs and filters. Okay. So, and we'll see about whether we want to have RPM filtering or not. And in the chat here, I'm told that Was Blind is a woman. So how are you? We don't get too many women in here, and we will try to watch our language a little more than we usually do.
That's right.
I'll be self-conscious. Well, there's Carlos here. So let me go ahead and bring Carlos in. Do you remember Carlos from Florida?
How's it going, man? How are you doing?
Hello, how are you?
Mike, there you are. Stranger, how you doing?
How you doing?
Hanging out over by Matt North for a little while. Then I saw you went on, so I said, let me come join the Mitch man. I'll learn something.
Yeah, I forgot about Matt, because he calls his thing Saturday morning, and I'm thinking, well, it's Friday night, 9 o'clock. Everybody else is done. I'll come on. You know how I hate to step on other people's shows.
Nah, he's going to leave early, and you're going to do this, so I'll learn something. So I'll be quiet.
Okay. Well,
interrupt when needed.
That wouldn't be too. Yeah. Well, I want you to kind of monitor the chat for me, if you
got it.
While we're doing this, and Rod is here, Hot Rod in Daytona. How you doing? He says just Control-Alt-Delete to fix it. Is that it? Okay, let me do. If I let me
that was
that
the
right
case,
now.
I would
been done a long time ago.
Yeah, no
we would have
kidding.
done it.
Now, Vinny,
Okay.
you didn't fly FPV when we were in Florida, though, right?
No.
Okay. All right, Mitch, all you.
Yeah, so yeah, this is relatively fresh, and I've been flying for a little bit now, but it's always been someone else's drone, or like I mentioned, Kelly from Ready Set Drone. If you guys are familiar with him and his channel, he's helped me out a lot and been really great. And so I've flown with him quite a few times, and I've gotten the hang of it, I feel like. But as far as building my own, I've had a hell of a time.
Well, you could find a worse guy to hang out with than Kelly.
Yeah, no,
I mean, Kelly's got all the toys.
Yeah, totally.
I mean, all of them. So,
Yep.
I had one question. What drove you to not just buy a bind and fly for your first deal?
Well,
you actually wanted to build one.
Well, that probably, in retrospect, would have been a great idea. But I really wanted to, I want to do this commercially. Really, is the end goal. And so I don't want to be on set down the road and crash or something, and then not be able to fix things on the spot if something should go wrong. So the goal is to be able to, fix it and, be able to kind of recover if something should happen. And if I just did a bind and fly, then I guess maybe I could buy 2 or 3 of them or something and just be ready to go. But I just thought it was important to be able to try to learn how to build these things and be able to fix them should something go wrong. And I feel like everyone that I know that flies, something's always breaking, you're always crashing no matter how good you get. And so it just seems like it's something that you just kind of unfortunately have to power through. And so here I am.
Well, that's my philosophy. I agree. Carlos is looking like, don't say it, Mitch. Don't.
No, I know he's going to say it. I fly, I don't build.
Carlos doesn't build. Yeah, I build. Carlos flies. I seem to be the pit crew for this little racing team here. But
thank God for him.
At any rate, one of these days we'll get him more interested in building. So Ron Lockwood's in the house. How you doing, Rod? Good to see you, Ron. And we do have a few people in here. Seems to be jumping up and down, 14, 15, 16, 17, but that's more than I thought we'd get tonight. I figured we'd have just maybe you, me, and Carlos, Vinny, but good.
Cool.
And Art is back. Hi, Art. How you doing?
Well, yeah, I can help.
Okay, so here we go. First thing we're going to do is we're going to get the motors straight, okay? And most of this whole process, you're going to be showing me your Betaflight screen. So you won't be, on a notebook, you won't be able to actually see the stream. But if there's something I need to show you, I'll tell you, stop sharing so that I can actually show you something. But I don't think so. I think we'll be able to do it. So why don't you go ahead and get your thing hooked up to get your flight pack ready, because you do need, in order to spin the motors, you have to plug your flight battery in.
Cool.
And go ahead and share your screen, and let's get that up in Betaflight and get you connected to the drone. So go ahead and do that. And what we're going to do is we're going to first, there you go. Okay, so I see Vinny's screen here, and I will bring it in. So there it is. Okay, so go ahead and load up Betaflight.
Okay.
Okay, and I've made it much bigger so I can actually see it now. All right. So what I want you to do right now, before we start, is go into the CLI tab, and we're going to make and then down at the bottom type the command diff, DIFF, space ALL, enter, and then go way over to the right where on the bottom where it says save to file. Click that, put it on your desktop or something, and just say save.
Okay.
Okay. What we've done there is we have taken the anything that's changed from the default stuff that comes with the new flash that we put on there the other day,
Gotcha.
and saved it off. So if somehow we manage to get everything all screwed up, we can at least go back to this point and start over again.
I wish I would have done that initially, because it would have saved me a lot.
Yeah, and that's a good thing to do. I told you, what I do whenever I get a new flight controller is, like, first thing just as soon as I get it out of the box, before I solder anything to it or do anything, I plug it into the computer and hold on, I'm distracted.
I have a question and a comment.
We have money.
Yes, well, that's the comment.
Drones. Thank you so much, man. Appreciate that.
Question, all the way up on top, doesn't it say backup? That you can back it up also?
In the setup.
Up on top, isn't there a backup where you back it up?
Yeah, I was wondering about that too, but
I've never used that. I always I don't know what that does or where it puts it. I have never even investigated it, because doing the CLI thing, then I can go and sometimes I'll have to look at that. I just have never done it that way. I've never seen anybody else do it that way. I've always, in every video I've ever watched, it's always either do a dump. If you type the word dump down there, it gives you everything. If you type diff, it gives you only those things that aren't defaults. Because if you reflash the flight controller with Betaflight again, it's going to be back to all the defaults. That's where you're going to start.
Gotcha.
Ed says he uses a backup all the time, but Ed, you would. When no, I'm joking. No, I'll have to look into that. Joshua Bardwell has a website called FPV Know It All. Okay, my website is FPV Knows a Little. Knows enough to be dangerous. So that, I'm getting there. But no, that's something I've never done. Okay, so we've done that. So now what I want you to do is I want you to type resource and hit enter. Okay, now look up at the top. Scroll up till you can see motor 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, you see those things there?
Mm-hmm.
Motor 1, 2, 3, and 4. All right, what I want you to do, 1, 2, 3, 4, is I'm going to get a piece of paper and I want you to write this down too. I want you to write down exactly what it says there. So motor 1, read the codes to me, because they're kind of blurry. On my screen, it's a little small. So what does it say after motor 1?
C06.
And 2?
C07.
Okay, so it's 8 and 9 too.
And then on motor 3, it's B00.
Oh, of course it is. B00.
And then number 4 is B01.
B01. Okay, those are the 4 things we need to know. Okay. Now I want you to go to the motors tab.
Okay, 1 second. B01.
All right. Now let me explain what that is. On the SoC, or system on a chip, the processor, the F7 processor, there's 100 million different little wires coming out of it. Each one of those wires has a label. Okay, and one of those wires needs to go to from the processor, has to be mapped to motor 1. Another one has to be mapped to motor 2, and that's all done in Betaflight. All the mapping of all the resources is done in Betaflight. So what's happening now is what the flight controller thinks is motor 1 is really not, because you turned the flight controller sideways. So where you soldered motor 1 to before, you probably have motor 4 soldered to now, or something like that. Yeah. So what we need to do is we need to figure out which motor on the quad that the flight controller thinks is motor 1, 2, 3, and 4, and draw a diagram like that. Now, if you look up in the corner on your screen there, you see the little picture of the quad.
Mm-hmm. Right here.
And that's a pretty standard layout. It shows you that motor 1 is usually the right rear, motor 2 is usually the right front, motor 3 is the left rear, and motor 4. But you can change the mapping where sometimes that isn't. So it's always a good idea to make sure that that's what Betaflight thinks is the mapping. And then the little arrows around each of those motors shows you the directions that Betaflight thinks the motor's supposed to spin. In this case, it's props in.
Gotcha.
If you were to tell it to reverse the motor direction, those little arrows on that picture would be pointing the other way.
Gotcha.
And you know how to put props on a quad. You know which way they go.
Yes.
If not, we'll go, okay.
Hope so.
Props in.
Maybe
Props
not.
in. We'll go over that and make sure you get the props on right.
Okay.
All right, so what I want you to do now is go ahead and click the little box over there that says you understand the rules or the risks.
Let me plug this battery in real fast.
It says, I understand the risks. Okay, now I want you to spin motor 1. Just spin it slowly. Just move the slider up a little bit. And tell me which motor is spinning according to that picture that you have there.
So that's motor 2.
So when you so you're okay. So the right rear motor, the right front motor is spinning.
Yes.
When you hit motor 1.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So motor 1.
So
Is that's motor.
Motor 1 is the front
When you
right.
when you spin 1, the front right spins. Okay, spin 2 now.
okay, 2 is 4.
Okay, so it's just off 90 degrees the whole way around.
Yeah.
Okay, so motor
2 is left front. Right, Vinny?
2 is yes.
Left front.
left
Yeah.
front. Okay,
Left front is currently spinning.
motor 3
Motor 3
should be the left rear, I guess.
is right rear.
Yeah, right rear. Everything's one.
One spot.
Everything is
Wait a minute,
pushed
wait a minute.
forward. Everything is pushed forward.
Okay, when you spin motor 1, on the picture it's 2,
Yes.
correct?
Yes.
Oh, I see. Okay, I'm
so there's one
I'm
spot.
going counterclockwise. Okay, 2,
Yeah,
and
going
then
left.
3. So we're going around clockwise. Okay, and then when you spin motor.
4.
No, wait a minute, hold on a second. Hold on. Spin motor 3 again.
Motor 3 spins number 1.
Motor 3 spins number 1.
Right. Which is
Motor
rear
4
right.
motor
Rear right.
motor
yes.
4 spins number what?
Number 4 spins. It should be number 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Number 3.
Yeah. So it's
Which
just
is rear left.
one spot
rear.
to the left.
Right. Okay. So one is 4. Right?
No. 1 is the
I'm
front run. 1 is the front right, which is 2.
Oh shit! I'm
Right, Anthony? Is that right? Make sure I'm saying it right. Right. When you hit motor 1, the front right spun. Right.
Yeah. Let me.
okay.
So
Let's go over
1.
it again to make sure we get this right.
Yeah.
One
Number
is
1 is the front right.
Front right.
Number 2 is.
Well, no. I mean, Anthony, you weren't writing that down before. Don't take my word for it.
Yeah.
Let's make.
1 is
we
the
gotta
front
make sure we
right.
get
Okay.
front right. Okay.
Number
two
should be front left.
Correct.
front left. 2. Okay.
Number 3 is rear right,
Rear right. Okay.
and number
Left
4.
right. Left right is the number 4.
Rear
Number 4
left.
would be the rear left.
Rear
Right?
left. Right. Yeah.
Correct. Okay. So now what I've done is I've taken and I've drawn an X and I have those numbers there. Okay. So what I need to do now is I need to look at the current mapping and I need to start with motor number 1, okay, which is
C06.
the front right, okay? And that's spinning the front right, but we want it to spin the rear right, correct?
Yes.
So next to the number 3 that you wrote down on the rear right of that picture, write down C06. Okay?
Okay.
Now, motor 2 is spinning
The front left.
the front left.
Yes.
Mitch,
So that-
what did you tell him to do with the first one? That didn't sound right to me.
Hold on a second. I wrote the number 1 down on the front left for some reason. Not right.
You should just write.
Oh no, I'm sorry. I'm looking. I'm sorry. I'm looking at the wrong picture. Okay, let's start.
Start all over. The first one didn't sound right to me.
Yeah, you're right. Here's what you do. Now, motor one is now spinning what should be what is motor 2, right?
Yes.
Is spinning motor 1. So C07, you write down
For number 1. For front right.
Now hold on a second. Let me make sure that my logic is correct here.
Vinny, when you did the dump, what was number 2? Motor number 2.
Okay.
Number 2 is motor 7.
That's what you need to. Go ahead, Mitch.
Hold on a second. Motor number 1 is spinning the front right, correct?
Correct.
Motor number 2 is the front left, correct?
Front left. Yes.
Motor number 3 is the rear right, correct?
Rear right.
And motor number 4
Spinning rear left.
the rear left. Now
So
we want motor number 1 to spin the motor that is now motor number 3. Okay? You understand what I'm saying? In other words, the signal that is going to the motor that's spinning when you hit 1 is now going to the motor that on that picture says 2. But we want that signal to go to motor number 1. Okay? But motor number 1 is getting its signal from the motor 3 output of the flight controller. So next to motor 3, which is the picture of the rear right, okay, put in C06.
Okay.
Because C06 spins motor number 1. Is supposed to spin motor number 1. Okay?
Okay.
Now, what I want you to do right now, we did write these things down. I want you to go back to the CLI, because we're going to do these one at a time to make sure we get them right.
Okay.
Okay? So go back to the CLI, type in the command resource space motor resource, don't hit enter, just resource space motor space 1 space none, None. Enter. Okay, now type resource again and let's see if indeed that disappeared. Scroll up a little. There is no motor 1. Okay, super. So what I want you to do right now is I want you to type that same command that you did, resource motor space 1, and type in C06.
Isn't that what we had initially?
No, actually, scratch that. We gotta clear all the rest of them out too. So backspace and make that motor 2 none, and then do motor 3 none, and then motor 4 none. And motor 4 none. Okay, now type resource motor 1 C06.
Isn't that what we had initially?
No,
Shouldn't it be the motor 3?
motor 3 B00. Now hang on a second. Motor 1 was C06. You're right. I'm old, man. You know, this is all right. So what happened was motor 3 was spinning. Yeah, it's B. Yeah, when motor 3 spun motor 1. So you want B00. Resource motor 1, B00. Worst happens is if you get it wrong, the wrong motor will spin. That's all. Resource motor space 1 space B00. Enter. Okay, now saving.
You have to type save.
Type save, correct. Enter. Okay, now I want you to connect back in. Go to the motors tab. Give it understand the risks. Spin motor 1 and tell me if it turns. Nothing's spinning, huh?
No.
Try spinning motor 2. Well, we really screwed it up, didn't we? Nothing.
Did he do the permission thing?
Why? Nah, we need to do them all. Go back to the CLI. Evidently, it won't let you just do one. It needs to see all 4 motor resources before it's going to let it work. Okay? I imagine.
So then...
this is just so you know, this is something I've only done once because I always put the ESC on in the right way. So
yeah, I blew it.
Vinny, he's a noob, is what he's telling you.
I'm a noob. Yeah, okay.
Definitely not.
But I'm the only guy willing to come on and try to help you. So you gotta be happy with what you get, guys. All right. So now what we want to do is we want to go to, let's do resource motor 2.
So this should be.
Well, what I need to see the. Hang on, I want to see the picture of the. Go back to the motor.
Motor 2 is front right.
Motor 2 is front right.
Isn't it?
Okay.
I believe so.
Yeah, it could be.
Well, we just did motor 1, which was motor 3. Okay. There we go. So now we want to do motor 2, which was motor number 1. So say resource motor 1 equals C06. Does that sound correct, Carlos?
No. I don't know why it just doesn't sound right. I mean, try it.
Try it.
Try
C06.
Resource motor 206, C06? I thought we had that. I had that down as motor 3.
No, but that's spun when you hit 1. When you hit motor 1, the right front one spun.
Correct.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, wait a minute.
Yeah. I think that doesn't. Yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't work. So we made B00 motor number 1, correct?
Yeah. So
motor number 2.
B00. Okay.
C0 motor number 2, which is.
What was it on the diff, Anthony? Vinny?
Yep. Number 2 was C07.
So that's what we have to get. Motor number 2.
Motor number 2 is right. Motor number 2 is C07. Correct.
That's what we're working on now.
Yeah.
That's what you enter. Go for it, Anthony. What's the worst that can happen? Diff all, enter.
Okay, so then.
Okay, so you got that set. Now, motor 3 was motor 4. Motor 4 is B01.
Wait.
So say motor 4 is B01.
But that's what we started with, right?
No, motor 3 is B01. We started with B00 for motor 3. We need to change that to B01.
Okay.
You got that? Motor 3, B01. B01, enter. And motor 4 is
sounds like front left.
2. C0, wait a minute.
Isn't it motor 4 front left?
The front left was
Front left was 2.
No, but I'm saying
2. I think we may have screwed up 2.
When you spun motor number 4, didn't the front left spin?
No, I had the rear left spin.
The rear left.
Oh, the rear left.
Rear left
Okay.
spin.
All right.
The
So, yeah, that's right.
front
So
left
everything
spun-
was 1.
The front left spun when you hit the front left. That spun motor number 2, which is supposed to be motor number 4. So say resource 4 equals. Where's C06? Did we do 1 was 1 C06, wasn't it? Or 7?
I had
Type
Let's not
resource.
guess.
Just type resource in there. Back away, type resource. Motor, what does it say? Motor 1
is B00 now.
Hold on a second. Motor 1 is B00, correct. Motor 2 was 1, should be C06 and not C07. So type motor 1, resource none.
Motor, or no, resource?
No, excuse me. Hold on a second. Hold on.
Slow down.
Motor.
Yeah.
You got that head spinning in the chat.
Motor 2.
Mitch.
Say motor, yeah, right. Motor 2, resource none.
Enter.
Okay, resource motor 2 C06. And resource motor 4 C07.
Me too, Ed. I should have taken
confused.
notes.
You know,
I thought
when
you were
you're
going to
doing
do a
this-
job.
When you're doing this yourself, it's a lot easier than trying to do it like this, without the screen and without the quad in front of you.
Oh, come on
Okay,
now.
so type save, type save. Sorry, guys. I'm just burning. Listen, man, I'm just creating minutes, watch time here. That's
Oh, jeez.
okay. So try it now and see if you can get anything to spin. There you go.
All right.
Okay, which motor's turning?
All right, so 1 spinning, so we're good there.
All right, 2.
1 is
Try
right
2.
rear. Yay.
Hey, we got
Try
one.
2.
We got 2 right.
Front
All
rear.
right.
Front. That's front, right?
Front,
right.
Yep. Number 3, left rear.
Hey, all right, we got him.
Back
And
rear.
number 4.
Back
Number
rear.
4.
And awesome.
But now, which direction are they spinning in? Ah.
Well, that's another story. That's
Yeah,
Vinny, make yourself a
piece of cake, guys.
make yourself a paper prop and put it on there. Let's see what happens.
Yeah.
No, you know how I do it, Carlos. I just take my hand and I grab around the bell, and it's so easy to tell which way it's turning if you just lightly touch the bell when it's spinning like that.
Vinny know about BL Heli?
Well, if he doesn't, we're going to find out. Okay,
Yeah.
here's what
I've done a little bit in there, but I think I just screwed things up in there, so no.
Okay.
Well, here's what. Well, the ESC, yeah, because you just changed the mapping, so everything may not be right. But let's check it out. So go back to the motors tab. You did save that, didn't you?
I believe so.
I did. Yeah, I think so. Okay. Go back to the motors tab and try them again. Make sure that they're still correct.
He just wants to gloat, Vinny.
No, I want to make sure that we didn't forget to save. Oh no, we were in the motors tab. We're okay. It's saved. All right, go to just spin them all up. Go ahead and just spin them all. And now check them to see if they're all in the right direction. You know which directions. Just
Clockwise.
follow the little arrows. Look at the arrows
Clockwise
on the
is right
picture.
rear. You'll have no fingerprints at the end of the test.
Nah, you don't.
I'm just kidding.
The bells on these things are smooth enough, man.
I think
What was
they.
that?
2 is spinning the wrong direction.
Okay, so 2 is reversed.
And
how about 1?
And
1 is clockwise.
3 is reversed.
3 is reversed. How about the other 2? Are they okay? Or you haven't done them yet?
Spinning clockwise. That's spinning clockwise.
1 and 4 is clockwise. 2 and 3 is counter.
Yeah, so 2 and 3 are spinning the wrong way.
Okay. So
that's Mitch's fault, Vinny.
All right. So go ahead and exit out of the Betaflight. This has got to be like watching paint dry, guys. But
yeah,
not for Vinny.
Yeah, I mean this is groundbreaking for me. So no, I really appreciate it.
Okay, so back at go ahead and disconnect from Betaflight and load up BL Heli. Now, is this a BL Heli 32 or a BL Heli S?
Now you're making him think. He doesn't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Let me see.
Well, you have the BL Heli. You say you were in BL Heli already, so just load the one you loaded before.
He had it.
Have it 32. I don't know.
There it is. It's 32. Okay. No, you don't need a new version.
Okay.
Okay, so go ahead and
plug in.
Plug it in. Is it plugged in? It is plugged in, correct?
Yes. Yeah, I haven't.
All right. Type read setup down in the lower left hand.
I haven't done this at all. Oh, read setup. Okay.
Okay. So now what we want to do is say okay. Now we need to change motor 2 and 3, right? So you see down at the bottom, multiple ESC, just click on 2.
Oh, yeah.
And then one of those things says reverse somewhere. Direction, motor direction up at the top in the center. Right there. Slide it to where it says reversed. There you go. Okay.
Okay.
Now,
have to save it
hit right setup. Yeah, why not? Hit right setup.
Did he save it?
Okay. Information ESC. Yeah, successful. Okay, say okay. Now go into motor number. We need to reverse number 3 as well. So hit number 3. No, unclick number 2. Down at the bottom. Yeah, there you go. And then go up there, and that says reversed already.
So do we go back to normal then?
No, yeah, you go back to normal on that one.
Okay.
Okay, and right setup. Okay, and then disconnect.
Did he save it?
Yeah.
We did the right setup.
Yeah, disconnect right below your mouse. There you go. Okay.
Exciting stuff.
Now go close that window.
Back to beta.
And go back to Betaflight and connect. Go back to the motors tab.
Moment of truth.
Oh, God.
Agree. Spin them all. Just spin them all. You want to check them all, so just spin them all and then check them all now and make sure. Check every one of them again.
Okay, so that's right. That's going the right way.
It's like a Venice drum.
I know. I think, is 2 going the wrong way?
2 is counterclockwise.
Seems like 2 and 3 are still going.
They're still reversed?
They're still going clockwise.
2 is going clockwise and 3 is going clockwise?
Yeah.
How about 1 and 4? Are they still going the right direction?
1 and 4.
They should all be going clockwise at this point, right?
Well, that's...
Vinny, they're all going clockwise? Is that fair to say?
All right, I'll tell you what might have been the problem. is you were still in Betaflight. So go ahead and disconnect from Betaflight. Turn the motors off. Turn them off. Stop them first.
Vinny, they were all going clockwise, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, disconnect from Betaflight. There you go. Now load the.
Do I have to close it? Does that make a difference?
No, you can leave it open, but I think you were still connected to it. Although it did say it was writing it.
Mitch, you'd probably like to know that Kelly from Ready Set Drones joined you.
Oh, hey, Kelly, how you doing? Yeah, this is all Kelly's fault, you know.
This is all Kelly's fault.
It is. Well, Kelly, you'll be happy to know that we got his motors mapped correctly so far, and that's only taken like 45 minutes, but that's okay. That's partly my fault because I'm old. All right. So connect down at the bottom.
I think it's called Ginkgo biloba, Mitch.
Read setup. Read setup. No, read setup. There you go. Okay. Say okay. And let's see motor 2. Hold on a second. Hit when you click that, hit check over there on the right and see what happens. I don't know what that I very rarely work. Okay, that's what that does. All right. Get out of that. Click motor 2 and move the normal back to reversed.
And right setup?
Yeah, right to setup. Let's try it one at a time here. Okay, now read the setup again.
Okay.
All right, it's still set. Okay, unclick 2 and click 3. Why is motor 1 blue?
I have no idea.
Again, I only have, I think, one ESC that's actually running BLHeli32, so I hardly ever use this configurator. Unclick that. Click number 1. Let me see what happens.
Okay, so
now click number 2.
Well, why does it go to?
Now click number 1 first, and don't unclick number 1. Just click number 2. That's multiple ESCs. Okay, look up. There's the clue. This is what I'm looking at. See up at the top on the upper left, it says ESC3.
Okay.
See it? Okay.
Yeah.
Unclick the buttons until you get to unclick that. Okay, so click number 1, and that gets rid of it. Now you're at ESC2. Okay. Reverse. Click that. Now click that to reverse. I remember the trick with this stupid camera. Okay. Now, unclick number 2.
Click 2?
Click 2, yeah. And now it's ESC3. Reverse that now. Reverse that.
Is there, do you know?
Yeah, reverse that. Now write the setup. Okay, and disconnect. All right, close that out and go back into Betaflight. It looks like it connected to Betaflight to get to the flight to get to the ESC. That's what happened. All right, so close that. Well, let it reboot. Why is it taking so long to reboot the flight controller? There you go. Close that window now. All right, go back to the motors tab. Try that again.
Moment of truth.
Sean Oz, how you doing, buddy? Good to see you. Thanks for coming in.
Tattoo man.
You keeping track of the chat, Carlos? 'Cause
I am.
Did we do any good?
It looks like motor 3 is now spinning clockwise, but number 2 is still spinning clockwise. So let's see.
All right.
Wait, number 2 is supposed to be counter.
We didn't change the other. We didn't change 1 and 4, did we, by accident?
4 is still
clockwise.
4 is still clockwise. Now 1 is spinning counterclockwise.
All right, so we changed 1 by accident.
Okay.
I have a question real quick. Does Vinney's Betaflight connect to his quad automatically?
It evidently,
Auto-connect?
you know, no.
You usually have to hit connect, but sometimes I don't know. Sometimes it does automatically. But
it may connect automatically. That's right. It didn't seem to make any difference. So go ahead and unspin. You know, turn the motors off. Which ones are wrong right now?
So it was. Let's see here.
Front left.
So 4 is correct.
Oh, it is? Oh, so it's front, rear left.
4 is correct. 1 is going counterclockwise, so 1 is wrong. 2 is wrong.
Jeez, they're all wrong. 1 is right.
And 3 is right. So
3 is right. Okay, so 1 and 2 we need to fix.
1 and 2.
All right, go back into disconnect. Hit the disconnect button. Go back into
I keep closing.
BL Heli again.
Vinney, you do have auto connects, on, just for the record.
Oh, okay. That's why it keeps connecting. Yeah, I see it there. Okay, connect. Hit connect.
Sean, I said hello to you, just for the record.
I see that. How you doing, Sean? Hit read setup. Okay, now we want to change ESC1, correct? So make it normal. Did you say 1 and 2 are wrong now?
1 and 2 are spinning.
Yeah. So make that normal. Okay. Now click 1. Click 1. Now we're at ESC2. Make that reversed. Okay, and hit right setup. It's a very strange way that this thing works.
You got a $2 super chat from Plummet FPV, I believe.
Oh, Plummet, thank you very much. Sup, my brother. Got a lot of brothers.
Could have been Professor Dude.
right setup, disconnect. Disconnect. Now, rebooting flight controller, and then it'll probably see that it just reboots right back into Betaflight, which is okay.
That's cool, right?
Yeah.
I guess.
15th time is the charm here, guys. Okay, close that out.
Okay.
And you know the drill. You're getting good at this, man. Look at you.
Yeah. Okay, so
1 and 2. 1 should be clockwise. 2 should be counter.
1 is now counterclockwise.
That's what it was before. And what's 2? Is 2 at least changed?
Wait a minute. I thought you said 1 was wrong.
He did.
It's 1 is still counterclockwise?
Yeah.
How the hell can that be?
How about 2? Is 2 at least?
How about 2?
2 is counterclockwise. So we got 2 right. 2's right.
3 and 4 still good?
3 is now, let's see. 3 is counterclockwise, so 2 and 3 are good. And 4 is clockwise, so we're good. So now it's just 1.
It's just 1, huh?
Which makes
tell you.
no sense.
What I'm wondering is, because we remapped the motors, I'm wondering if
if we change the ESC, do we have to?
if we have to consider the fact that
Also,
the ESCs are driving different,
now
are
it's
actually driving
motors,
different motors. So what we need to do is we need to go back.
I don't know, but that wouldn't be consistent with the number 3 motor spinning the right way. We just changed it.
Keep in mind that the ESCs drive the motors, regardless of what channel the flight controller. The ESCs are 4 independent things, and each one is driving its own motor, regardless of how the flight controller is mapped to it. So what's been happening is we've been changing them, but we ended up changing the old mapping. So looking back at the old mapping, the original way that it was wrong, okay? Do you have your original picture of how it used to be? Which one?
B06, that?
Yeah, one was in the motor. One was in it was
controlling
motor
front right.
Number 2. Motor 2. Okay, so motor 1 is the only one that's wrong now. Is that correct?
Yep.
Yes.
All right. So let's go back into BL Heli and reverse motor number 2.
Are you sure? I don't think so. I think he should just try one more time.
Hold on a second.
He should do number 4 for 1.
Yeah, the one that's wrong is number 2, correct?
No. Number 1 is wrong now.
Number 1 is spinning.
Okay, then that used to be 3. So go and reverse number 3 and see what happens.
No. I think you should just reverse number 1 and see what happens.
Listen, Carlos, this is what we've been doing.
Telling you.
The one. If you're looking at the picture now,
I totally understand what you're saying.
Let me finish my thought.
Go ahead.
The right rear motor needs to be reversed. Correct.
Right rear. Let me check.
Yes, number 1.
Number 1 is going. Let's see.
Should be clockwise.
It's going counterclockwise.
Okay. Now that. All right. So let's go back into BL Heli, reverse number 1, and see what happens. Okay.
It's gonna work. I'm a believer.
And if motor 2 changes directions, then I know what's going on.
Disconnect from beta.
Now, disconnect from there. Okay, go back into that. Connect. I could have sworn there's a way to spin the motors from within BL Heli, but.
Okay, so now we're going.
ESC 1. You're on 1. What does it say now? What direction?
Hold on a second. Hit that check button again, and leave that. Hit that check button.
Which one?
The check.
To the right.
On the right. Yeah, hit that and leave that screen. Leave that up there a second. Okay, that doesn't tell me anything. Oh yeah, it says motor direction. Okay. Motor direction normal on ESC 4, but it doesn't tell me the motor direction. It just says master, slave, 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 but it doesn't tell me the motor direction of the other 3 motors, which is strange.
I don't know why it just says it before.
Yeah, that's strange.
Come on, just change 1, Vinney. Let's see what happens. Go crazy.
All right. Change number 1. So it says ESC 1 up there, correct?
Yes. So ESC 1, this hasn't clicked.
Make
so
it normal. Right to setup.
Betaflight.
Disconnect. Back to Betaflight.
It's gonna work. It's gonna work. I feel it.
And if it doesn't work, remember the first thing we do when we get back in there is to change number 1 back the other way. Or this will also tell us if let's see which motor it actually changed. Which motor did it actually change the direction of?
So everything was right, but motor number 1.
Yeah, so
we're
get
out of here.
there. Yeah, get out of there, back into Betaflight.
Good luck. I feel it.
Up.
I feel good vibes.
Tell me what motor 1's doing.
Motor 1 is clockwise.
Told you it was going to work.
Okay.
Right, so 1
motor
is
2.
clockwise.
2 is counter.
2 is counter.
All right.
3 is
3 is
counter.
counter.
All right. So basically, the mapping translates to the
4 is
ESCs.
4 is clockwise, Vinny.
Yes.
You're good to go.
So all your motors. So changing the mapping doesn't affect the way BL Heli communicates with the ESCs. Why we didn't get it the last 3 tries to work? We were doing the right one.
It's Vinny's fault this time. He did something wrong.
Reverse 2 and 3. Okay, so your motor direction's all gone correct.
Just kidding.
Okay. Let me take a break for a second. Have a sip of water.
Say hello to Brian BMAC who joined you. And
Brian, how you doing, buddy?
We got that $2. He's having a tough week in his FPV journey. Not sure what happened, but
Brian. Well, we're having a tough night here in the FPV journey too, but we're getting it. We're getting it step by step, man. We are going to get this done.
Thank God for you guys, because I would have.
You got accomplished what you needed to get accomplished, right, Vinny?
So far, okay. Now the next thing we need to do is all right. You can let's stop. Leave your share up. I'm going to bring us back up here.
Stretch, Vinny. Stretch.
Yeah.
Get all those tense muscles out.
Can you see me, Vinny? Can you see me on the screen now? Can you see the StreamYard? Or are you still looking at Betaflight?
I'm still looking at Betaflight. I can.
All right, go ahead and close that out for a second.
Okay.
And what I want to do here is I want to show you a diagram of your flight controller.
Hey.
All right. This is what you have. Now, the mission here was to try to figure out what UARTs the DJI air unit was using. Okay? So according to this right here, UART 2 is the RX and TX from the DJI unit. Okay? So when we go into ports tab, we need to set UART2. We need to turn the MSP switch on UART2. Okay? So I'm gonna write down UART2 is the DJI, not the receiver, but the actual UART connection that allows it to transfer the OSD information, tells it when it's armed and not. That's UART2. Now, we also need to know what the receiver is hooked to.
Vinny.
And that's right here is sbus, and that's on UART5. So UART5 is where we're going to set Betaflight to tell that's where the receiver is. Okay? And you don't have a GPS on this thing, correct?
No.
So that's really the only ports we're going to have to deal with.
So it's just 2 and 5, correct?
So let's do that now. So go ahead and get back into Betaflight, share your screen with me again, and we'll take a look and see what you're doing. Now you did calibrate the accelerometer, right?
I haven't done it for a little while. It's probably worth.
Well, okay. Yeah. Well, maybe you can do that. That's all right. So go back up to the setup tab. Make it fairly level. Looks level in the picture.
Looks pretty level.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. That's calibrated. Okay. Ports tab now. All right, so you have UART3 set to MSP. So turn that off. Turn that MSP off. Turn the serial RX on UART1 off. turn the serial RX on UART 5 on, down at the bottom, and on UART 2, turn on the MSP and hit save and reboot.
What is MSP?
Multi-protocol serial something or other. Or
Multi-serial
multiple serial
protocol?
or yeah,
Okay.
something like that. Yeah. Hit save and reboot.
And so you found all that just from the diagram?
From that picture, from the diagram, yeah.
I was going to say, Vinny, an hour and 8 minutes into the stream, if you want to go back, you can review what he just told you.
Yeah, no kidding.
No, seriously,
okay.
An hour and 8 minutes.
An hour and 8
Save-
minutes. I'll
save,
watch it
yeah.
all over again.
Save and reboot. Okay. All right. So now we're in the ports tab. So what I want you to do now is go to the configuration tab. All right. Quad X, that's right. System configuration. Let's look up here at the protocol. Up at the top right hand, and on the right hand at the ESC, you got DShot 600, correct?
Yeah,
Yep.
is there a specific reason for that? That was
No, that's
one of Dirk's
the
videos.
most that's the most common protocol that they're running on a 32-bit. In fact, that's what I run on almost all my quads.
And what does that do? I guess between that and all
It's
the other
the
ones?
protocol that the ESC communicates with the motor,
Okay.
or the flight controller communicates with the. I'm not up like Bardwell is on the actual electronics of what these different protocols.
We have
I
to
know that
Google it.
there's a standard analog protocol that we used to use in the model airplane days. These are digital protocols. You have one shot, D shot, multi-shot. They're all different variants of the same thing. But D-Shot 600 is the accepted standard these days. Okay, so you don't want motor stop on. You don't want ESC sensor on. Bidirectional D-Shot, let's see if we can get RPM filtering. So turn bidirectional D-Shot on.
What's the RPM filtering? I don't know
Yeah,
what that
turn
is.
that on. You need bidirectional D-Shot for RPM filtering.
It's getting you into trouble,
14, now, you need to find out how many motor poles. What size motors do you have there?
Oof. It's been a while. I have it on.
Are they fairly small motors? They might be 12
Yeah.
magnets. They might be 12 pole motors. You can count the magnets, and if you look from the bottom up into the motor, you count the magnets. You might want to make a little pencil mark on the outside and then count how many magnets there are.
That's when I tell Mitch, I had enough. Count magnets? You're good, man, let me tell you.
Ed, Love My Drones, wants to know how I know that they're the UARTs that are being used. And the answer, Ed, if you had been paying attention, is in the drawing here of the flight controller, the plug where the DJI air unit plugs in tells you that the UARTs are on UART 2 and that the sbus receiver is on 5. That's how I found that information, because they don't give you. I asked Vinney if he had that information earlier, and they don't give you shit with these things. They send you these drones and say, here it is, and they don't tell you. Now, it may have come already configured from the factory, but
I'm pretty sure I
because
deleted all that. So
yeah, because he got it all screwed up trying to reverse the motors and get the motors in the right place. He had to reflash.
Now he's blaming Vinny.
No, it's
it's
a
totally
common
my
mistake.
fault. I wholeheartedly take it.
That's why you always want to save your CLI dump when you first get it.
Yep. Ed
So
taught me
you're
that
going to
one.
either have probably 12 or 14 magnets there.
It's pretty hard to count here.
Yeah, I
Telling
know.
you.
You have to find a starting spot.
I mean, is he doing this for filtering? Is that why he's counting magnets?
RPM, yeah, you have to
Really?
know the number of magnets.
So what is the
Ed
RPM
was thinking,
filtering?
no,
It's going to make you fly
RPM
better. I'm just kidding. I have no idea.
I'll go with that.
No, what is it
Like
supposed
in-
to do? Smoothen out some of the prop wash, you said? Something to that effect? I don't know.
God.
I'm guessing.
Fil-
Can you-
fil-
Go ahead.
filtering, things vibrate in quads. Motors vibrate, okay? And that vibration gets translated to the gyro in the quad and causes the gyro signal to go up and down. And that screws up the operation of the PID loop because the signals that are being thrown all over the place, the spikes from the vibration. So Betaflight has 2 or 3, maybe even 4 different kinds of filtering. Dynamic filtering, notch filtering. For example, if you had and the idea of that is to filter out those specific frequencies from the gyro signal. Okay? Well, what RPM filtering does is it creates kind of a dynamic notch, a filter that is actually filtering the frequency that the motors happen to be turning, which is your most likely cause of vibration. You understand what I'm saying? So as you speed up the motors, the setting on that filter changes, and it ends up shooting for the motor frequency, which is the most likely cause of noise and vibration that's going to go into the gyro.
How many magnets there, Anthony? Vinny, sorry. Keep saying that.
My middle name.
How many magnets?
You can
How
just
many
call
magnets?
Call me Anthony. It's all right.
How many magnets we're still
It
working
seems,
with?
I'm pretty sure there's 12, but it's
That's what I thought. Smaller motors. Okay, make it 12. If the thing flies like shit, we'll just go in and turn off the RPM filter. So where it says number of poles, go to make that 12. All right,
Okay.
cool. Now, the board and sensor alignment. When you all right, for right now, let's do this. Hit save and reboot. Okay. Go back into the setup. Now, take the quad in your little hand and tilt the nose up. Tilt the nose up.
up, as in
Yep.
yeah.
Up and then down. Now roll it to the right and to the left and yaw it to the left. Okay, so if the little picture is doing what the quad is doing, it means that your flight controller board is aligned correctly.
Okay.
Okay. Now, some people mount their flight controllers upside down or backwards for some reason. In that case, you have to go in there and change the settings. So let's go back to the config, but that's always a good thing to check. Make sure the little drone does what the big drone's doing. Okay.
Okay.
Now, so we don't need to deal with that. We won't deal with that. Okay, go back over to the left. Okay. And we didn't reverse the motor direction, so keep going. Go down. 8K and 8K it's an F7 processor, correct? F7 board? Yeah, it is.
Yes.
Okay. You don't have a barometer magnetometer. You want to give it a craft name? It shows up in the CLI dumps, which sometimes is nice because when you go looking at a CLI dump, you'll tell right away which quad it is. So just put down Squirt. There you go. Okay. Camera angle at 0. All right. Now, serial base receiver, sbus. Let me see the options on your sbus. Click that. Is there something that says fast sbus there? No. Okay. sbus it is.
And do you know the S-bus because that's what it had on the diagram, or like?
No, that's what the DJI is. The receiver is DJI. Okay. It also says S-bus on the diagram, which is another good clue. Okay, so you want that to be S-bus. All right, so let's go down to other features. You got air mode, OSD, and dynamic filter enabled. The rest of that.
RX lost and RX set.
Yeah, now
Shouldn't
go
he do
down
that?
to D-shot beacon, yeah, and click those two on, RX lost and RX set. That makes the ESC make a beep sound when you hit the beep, if you have a switch on your radio that make a beep. Okay?
Save and reboot.
Go all the way up to the top again. Let's look at the right and see if we
So
okay.
the D-shot beacon, that's basically like a buzzer or no?
Yeah, yeah, that's what makes the motors make the beeping sound.
Yeah.
Okay, that's part of the D-Shot protocol. Allows you can even program them to play songs, but we won't fool with that. All right, go up a little more, and make sure the arming angle's at 180 degrees. Keep going up.
Okay.
Arming angle 180 degrees. Okay, all right. Hit save and reboot.
Now go out and fly.
No, not quite yet, Carlos.
There's more.
All right, now go into receiver, the receiver tab.
Turn this radio on.
Plug your battery into the unit because the DJI unit needs to be powered up. And
Got to turn his radio on?
And get your radio on, yeah.
What radio do you use?
He's using the DJI.
Oh, the DJI one. Gotcha.
Trying to keep it simple, even though it's not. I'm getting this beep. I was getting this before, and I don't know what this is.
Did you? Oh, Hugh is here. Asgard, how you doing, buddy? Bob Casey is in here, lurking.
He's lurking. Yeah.
Good to see you, man. Bob, Drone Days, yeah. What's beeping? The transmitter or the quad?
The transmitter.
Is the battery charged?
Yep, I got four bars.
All right. Do you have all the switches in their default position?
That's a great question. Not sure.
Push them all down.
Everybody down.
Yeah, everything is down now.
And the throttle is the throttle down? And it's still beeping.
Still beeping. Is that?
Turn it off and on. I don't know.
That's something in the mode.
I have no idea. I've never touched one or seen one of those transmitters. What are you looking at? No, it's not the quad that's beeping, is it? It's the.
Yeah, it's the remote.
All right. Well, go back to the receiver tab. And you got the quad plugged in?
Yeah, battery's in, and it's obviously plugged into.
Okay, move the throttle.
Got nothing.
Okay, did you bind everything yet?
I bound.
You have to bind the. I think you bind. You bind
about that
the
whole
goggles
DJI
to the radio,
assistant.
and then you bind. Then you have to bind
I know you have to do the
air
goggles first.
unit to the receiver. Yeah, then bind the air unit to the receiver now.
Okay, I think that's.
Did he do the whole
No, he needs to
DJI
bind.
assistant thing?
Yeah,
No,
I did
that's-
that when I first got it.
Yeah,
Okay.
you got to bind. You got to bind the transmitter to the air unit.
So I got a blue
How do you-
light. I got a. Where's my toothpick?
Ed put it in binding mode for you. He wrote bind, bind, bind. Thanks, Ed.
Thanks, Ed. So they're both green now, but I'm still getting a vibration and that beeping sound on the remote, which makes no sense. And nothing.
Is Kelly still in here? He's done this 100 times because he flies with that radio. Anybody in the chat have this stupid DJI transmitter?
Kelly,
Do I have to Google the directions here or what?
I feel like I did that, but yeah, you
Mitch, I
hold.
just realized I didn't put my Hawaiian shirt on for this show. Next time.
All right, I got mine on.
You hold the record button, this button, and the play button.
Just try turning it off.
Power on the air. Here it is. Here's the directions.
Turn it off and
Power
on.
on the air unit and controller. Use a small wooden dowel or flat surface without you. Press the link button on the air unit until the status turns red. Press the record button, C button, and the right dial on the remote controller simultaneously.
Right dial.
record button, C button, and the right dial. Press them in simultaneously. The remote controller beeps continuously, and the status indicator blinks blue.
Oh, so maybe that noise is normal.
It might be telling it's not bound.
It shouldn't. Yeah, and
No?
it's vibrating too. I don't know what the deal is. Yeah, I mean, I did that. They both turned green now, but it's still vibrating.
Okay, hold on a second.
That's the special feel-good
if
version.
successful, both the linking status indicators turn solid green. But I think, I'm wondering if that beeping doesn't indicate that there's a switch position. Try fooling with the switches and see if you can get maybe a switch position. You know how OpenTX tells you switch warning, throttle warning when you have something set wrong when you turn it on?
Well, if I went over in the modes tab just to double check, and it doesn't seem like anything's set.
Well, you don't have anything set yet anyway.
So it shouldn't.
I'll tell you what. All right, do this. Go back to, well, nothing will work until you actually get motion in the receiver when you move the sticks, and you're not seeing anything in there when you move the sticks. So your transmitter is not bound to the air unit.
But I have both green lights.
Go back to the ports tab. Go back to the ports tab. UART 5 is the serial receiver. Correct?
Mm-hmm.
And UART 2 is MSP. Okay, so that should be getting serial. You go in the configuration tab, it says serial receiver sbus.
Yep.
Whatever the problem is, it's in the transmitter, because the transmitter's making the noise.
Yeah, I don't know. I can.
Vinny, just turn it off and on once, just for shits and giggles. What the hell?
Yeah, yeah.
And by the way, it's Ed Love My Drone's birthday today. He's 62 years young.
Holy cow! God,
Happy
are you getting old? Are you getting old, man?
Yeah, same.
Same.
Is it vibrating too?
Now it seems like it's just beeping now.
So now it's in the bind mode. No, I have no idea.
Hold on a second.
What color lights are you looking at?
Well, they're both on the air unit and on the receiver. They're both green. So
a stick not at midpoint or a software problem. The solution will be to recalibrate the RC, upgrade or roll back the firmware.
He has a full battery, Mike Kinney.
On the remote.
All right. Remote controller error, DDD beeping, is usually caused by a drop of the RC. What does that mean? A drop. Does it mean you dropped the radio?
Fell off the
fell off the table? A stick not at its midpoint. Put all the sticks in the center and see what happens.
Okay. I don't know if you can see that.
Yeah. Remote controller. How to Mavic Air. That remote beeping. Mavic Air. I don't want Mavic Air. I want the FPV system remote beeping. What does it mean? Gone into a reset mode. I'm unable to repair my controller to the air unit at all, and the controller keeps beeping. Obviously you're not the first guy who had this problem, Vinny. Does the beeping stop if you move the throttle down to the bottom position? No.
Yeah, that's usually what solves it. But
it's all in safe standby. When I move anything, nothing happens. I feel it's in a manual reset or calibration, pressing buttons, trying to get it connected to my Mac, blah, blah, blah. The beeping and vibrating is to indicate that the battery level is under 10%.
And it's got.
Is your battery that low? Because the
It's got 3.5 bars.
My battery is fully charged. Hoping to get to the bottom of this, I have to send it in. It had gone into a reset mode somehow. I connected it up with the goggles, and the goggles allows you to restore them. What does that mean? What does it mean going into reset? I mean, pair my controller.
Vinny, have you ever had the
Any
controller
update
on
on
before?
As you happen when
Yeah.
I play Velocidrone
Yeah, I've
after
definitely-
I
I've
can't
used it
bear
plenty
fully
of times.
charges. Have you been playing Velocidrone with this thing?
I have, yeah, but not recently. But I usually can interchangeably just switch back and forth.
Because another guy said that he had the problem after he played Velocidrone with it. Failed to update, red light indicated, and beep every 2 seconds. I'm facing the same exact problem. My DJI's remote was working pretty fine. I used it in a simulator for around a week and a half, but when I didn't use it for a couple of days, I tried it again, it didn't work. The PC showed that the device was connected, but the joysticks were. I checked the latest update, then updated my remote, connected, blah, blah, blah. I tried turning it off. But the thing it started doing was beeping. So whenever I switch it on, there comes a beep, and then it shows the red light, which stays on after a couple of seconds, starts to vibrate while beeping. No matter what I do, try slide switches, won't work. Please help me out.
Hammer, I'm telling you.
This is normal. It's just telling you that either your throttle stick is up, you have forgotten to turn off your remote, and it doesn't want you to run down the battery. That doesn't make it. Hello, I have the same and similar issue. I have links with the air unit, but constantly beeps, unable to arm my quad. I have updated the control and refreshed, but no luck. It is not vibrating, and the battery is full. And yes, all switch the throttle sticks are down. Has been working fine 2 days. Similar issue.
That's what he has.
Please read page 18 of the DJI controller manual. The remote controller needs to be calibrated. Okay. Beeps and vibrates. Low battery, below 10%. Beeps alternate sounds and vibrates.
Yeah,
Is it beeping alternate sounds or the same sound?
I think it's doing 2 different tones.
Okay. The remote controller needs to be calibrated. Okay.
Is it vibrating?
So,
no, right?
So let's see, calibrate DJI remote. FPV. Okay. Calibrate the first connect the remote controller to your mobile device. Wait a minute. I don't know if this is a Mavic Pro controller or what controller. Calibration of sticks fails. Full DJI FPV. And now they've thrown this DJI FPV drone in, which is yet another controller. So how do I know if we're talking about this controller? How do I calibrate my Mavic Air controller? Oh, God. This is why I love DJI.
Okay, I found the calibration in the goggles. I wonder if this is going to do anything.
Now, did you have to link the remote to the goggles too? I think you did, didn't you?
Yes. I think so.
Now, did it? Okay, so can you see stuff happening in the goggles when you?
Well, it just said calibration failed. Ensure sticks are centered.
Okay, so that's it. Try doing the calibration. I guess you have to do it through the goggles.
Smart audio. Ooh, I hear a different sound.
Here it is. Okay, I got the user's manual for this thing now.
I think I'm making progress here.
So, are you?
Yeah, it's different sounds now.
Okay, cool.
It's a steady beep.
It says calibration complete. And then how do I exit out of this thing? Now it's
That's
just
a different sound.
Different sound, so now we just have a different problem.
What colors?
Is your throttle all the way down?
Hey, there we go.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on.
Here comes the applause.
Hey, all
All
right.
right. Even Spank is happy. Here.
Hey.
Okay. All right. Okay. That's show business, folks. Okay. So now go back to the receiver tab. Move something around on the radio. I still don't see anything moving.
Everything plugged in?
You got the radio on. You got the quad plugged in?
With a battery?
Quad's plugged in with the battery in the Betaflight. Goggles are on, getting signal.
And yet nothing's moving.
Nothing in Betaflight.
So he's not bound?
No, he's bound.
I could be. Am I just bound? Maybe I'm just bound to the.
Maybe you're. Yeah. Let's try
I
bounding the transmitter to. Do you have to bind the transmitter to the air unit?
Yeah, I think so. But I got green lights on both, right? So I mean, I feel like I should be good. But I'll try again.
You think so? But when you move the throttle, nothing happens, huh?
No.
And we do have it set to the right UART in the ports tab. We do have the configuration set to the correct receiver.
Got green lights on both, and still nothing in Betaflight.
All right, maybe with the DJI transmitter, it needs a different setting in the on the receiver tab. So hold on a second here.
Isn't this fun, Vinney? Drives you to drink.
Well, this is what I have to go through when I'm trying to figure out how to do something I never did before. And I have never used the receiver in the air unit. I've always just ignored that and used my Crossfire or R9 or something else.
Yeah.
So I have never hooked up or configured a DJI drone to use that particular transmitter. So what I have to do, I just assumed it was it says sbus on the actual flight controller where the plug goes to that thing.
Somebody thinks maybe you should bind it again.
It said UART 5 was the serial receiver sbus, and UART 2 was.
Good point. Let me interrupt you. Ed says, go through the bind thing again because the controller wasn't calibrated before.
That's possible, but that's the calibration is the internal sticks and switches. But it shouldn't affect the bind. But try to bind the transmitter again.
Well, I know that you have to do the goggles first. I know that can throw things off. So.
It is bound to the goggles because you're seeing the image.
Yeah,
So now bind to the flight controller. Is there a way?
I mean, just to the air unit, I suppose. But
that's what I mean.
Yeah. So if I do, so you push this down.
You did activate all that crap, didn't you?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I had it running before with that Tycan that I was using, and it was working fine. Okay, so I hold this. How do I do it? Let's see.
And you don't think DJI would actually give you the Betaflight settings, do you? No.
Yeah, I did something a little bit different. Let's see if this
plugged in, battery in.
Yeah, battery's in.
How hot is that air unit getting?
Getting pretty toasty.
Yeah. Hold on.
No different, Vinney?
No, this time I enabled the bind setting from the remote first. It turned blue. Then I have a green light on the air unit. And now I just redid it. Both are green.
So that means
plus T-Motor F7, Betaflight does not see DJI controller. Again, Vinney, not the first one having this problem. Hello, I hope someone can help with this issue I'm having. I just wired up a new stack. My previous link going to this, the T-Motor F7. Blah, blah, blah. Everything looks fine until I go to the receiver tab in Betaflight, and moving the controls does nothing. I have the protocol set to sbus, UART5 set to serial RX and have said sbus baud fast equals on. Okay, let's go into the CLI and type the command sbus underscore baud, B-A-U-D, underscore fast equals on.
Should I save anything first, or?
No, just hit enter and see what happens. Doesn't, that's what I thought. Doesn't recognize that command. Because if it recognized it, it would have given you some suggestions. So evidently that command he's talking about might be for an older version of. The flight controller comes with a wiring harness that goes directly. When I power up the quad, I get the initial beeps, the DJI transmitter connects, and the light turns green. I can also see the remote in the goggles. That's where we are, correct?
Yes. Yeah, because I just did the configuration.
Not sure where to go from here other than assume my air unit went bad, or I received a faulty flight. Unfortunately, I don't have spare parts. The issue ended up being the air unit. I ordered a new one since I needed a backup quad and everything connected like it was supposed to. I'm sending my other air unit to DJI to hopefully get repaired. Well, that doesn't help me a lot. Make sure all your connectors are arranged the right way around. Seeing the ESC controller flip, just try connect, blah, blah, blah. For those that are stumbling across down the line, the following steps should get everything going. It hinges on UART5 to serial RX. It says here you got to enable sbus underscore baud underscore fast in the CLI.
So we tried, right?
But we tried that. Try that again. Type.
Was it sbus underscore
SBUS underscore baud underscore fast equals on.
Equals on?
Yeah.
Are there spaces or anything? Is that right?
It shouldn't matter, but you can. A lot of people put.
Hey, do you remember when I wrote the
equal?
I wrote the word.
What does it say?
Try help.
Is it equals the sign or equals the word?
No, the sign. Equal.
Okay.
The first one I have.
Type get, G-E-T, space B-A-U-D. Enter. sbus baud fast. Okay, there's no underscore, it looks like, in that command. Okay? So type it without the underscore. That's the dumbest thing.
It's like that?
Equals on.
Equals on.
That didn't work. But it says sbus baud. Now, is there an underscore in that?
In where?
Is there an underscore in that? I can't see it because
no.
On my screen.
No underscores.
In that command that says sbus baud fast.
Equals
the
on.
last one I did, there's no underscores.
But no, in the one when you did the get.
Let's see. sbus underscore baud.
Oh, it does say underscore. Okay. Yeah. Fast. All right. What I want you to do is go up to that command and cut it. Highlight it and copy and paste. Yeah. Highlight the whole thing. Equals off and everything.
Oh.
No, everything. Yeah. Highlight the whole line. Controls. Copy. Paste it in there. Backspace twice. Capital on enter. Now that doesn't make any sense. This doesn't make any sense. I've never seen a CLI do that because you just copied the command that it showed you. And that does say sbus, correct?
sbus underscore BAUD underscore fast space equal sign space capital OFF for on. Yes.
How to switch from sbus to DJI HDL for your radio. They're telling you to type the command sbus underscore baud underscore fast equals on.
We've done that, right?
All right, hold on a second. Here's how to switch from sbus to the DJI HD. How to find the DJI HDL protocol. HDL protocol. Now, in your goggles, is there a setting in under the transmitter for the protocol?
Let's see.
Oh, I see why we're not getting why it's not working here. Type the word set first.
SVT?
Yeah, set sbus underscore baud equals fast.
Sorry, I just hit S
That's
underscore.
right. Set set space. Sbus
S underscore.
baud underscore fast space equals space on. There you go. Save. Save.
Oh, save.
Type save. Type the word save. There you go. Enter. Okay. Now go to your receiver tab and see if it's working.
This better work because my back's talking to me.
It's not working, but also on the receiver it's red now. So
All right, now go. Is there a place in okay?
and I'm not
Change the
getting
DJI radio. Okay, change the DJI radio over to the DJI HDL protocol. Now, is that done in the goggles?
I don't know. Now I'm not getting signal in the goggles, and everything's red.
Well, you didn't change anything but Betaflight.
Yeah, I don't know what the deal is here.
You got the battery plugged in
I hope so.
in the quad.
Okay, goggles are plugged in. Goggles are plugged in. This is plugged in. Plugged into Betaflight. I got power on. What the hell? Yeah, no, it just says image transmission stopped.
Maybe your thing overheated. But that thing that we just changed the protocol should not have affected your video in any way.
Okay.
And we weren't seeing the receiver anyway.
Vinny needs a union break.
I'll tell you what.
Crazy, man.
I need a union break. Mitch, seriously, my back.
Vinny, unplug
The void.
the battery from the quad, but leave it plugged into Betaflight.
Okay.
Let's go into the CLI and undo that command we just did. Not that I could see how it would make any difference, but
Double check these batteries are good. Yeah, both of these are fine. Okay, so you said go into the CLI
yeah, type set
underscore sbus underscore
sbus underscore baud underscore fast equals off.
the capitalization on off and on.
No,
matter?
it doesn't matter.
I gotta.
No underscore after the word set.
Set base
Yeah.
sbus underscore.
Yeah, most CLI commands you have to type set in front of. We were so used to using the resource and other commands where you didn't have to type set that I wasn't thinking. I'm tired, and
Me too.
it's starting to show.
There's always tomorrow.
I get up at 5 every morning, so this is getting late for me.
I'll be in Manhattan tomorrow.
All right, and then save, enter, and how hot is that DJI Air unit?
And it's hot, but I feel like it's always hot. So.
Well, let's try it one more time, and
yeah, I'm happy to call it a day whenever you guys.
No, let's just see it. Let's just see what happens. Move the quad.
Right. We're green now.
Okay, move the quad around. All right, now go ahead and go back to the receiver tab. Move something. Nothing. This is going to take a little more research. Like I say, I'm new to this DJI transmitter. The
Time to
goggles
call
I'm
Kelly
familiar with.
Shore.
What does it say? What does it say in the? You're seeing the transmitter in the goggles. You see in the picture?
Yeah, I can see the picture now.
All right. This I really think this is something that somebody who has set up a lot of these DJI transmitters is going to have to help you with. It might just be one simple step we're missing here. I've set up a lot of radios in Betaflight, and we've done everything that you have to do. You basically have to have a receiver type in the configuration, which is the serial RX sbus protocol. You have to have a UART mapped to whatever channel, and according to the flight controller documentation,
Seems
the
right.
receiver's on channel 5. So we either
Mitch.
have bad information or you got a problem somewhere or something simple that I'm missing because I never used that radio.
Is there something in Betaflight where you tell it the flight controller or if it's FR Sky or what are the other ones?
Yeah, that would be in the protocol setting. But this the DJI radio, go back to that ports tab again. You see where it says UART 5, it says serial RX. The DJI radio uses a standard sbus serial RX protocol, inverted, and it says on the flight controller picture that is set for that. It's a plug. It's supposed to be designed just to be plug and play.
There's nowhere else where there's a tab I thought I saw where it says FR Sky or Fly Sky or FR Sky X.
That's in configuration.
Where is that?
Configuration.
And
go down to receiver, and you might have it in the protocol there. But
what does it say there?
What SBus?
And that's correct. It doesn't have anything for DJI or.
Yeah. See.
Yeah, that's the tab I was looking at.
F port. Yeah.
Yeah.
You want SBus here.
Okay.
That's
just checking.
Spectrum or any of the other different receiver pro. Yeah.
Okay.
Make sure that's SBus. And that's.
And that's a save and reboot. Right?
Couldn't hurt. Make a change,
on the top and right.
If you make a change.
Oh, okay, that's right. That's right. So it's already there.
He didn't make a change there.
Yeah, I think everything's the same, right?
Okay.
Now we can check one other thing. We can check to see if the bidirectional D shot's working. Go back into the motor tab. Go into the filters tab. PID tuning. PID. Go to filters. Filter settings. Over on the right, top tab on the right there. Yeah, click that. Go down to where it says, on the left, where it says RPM filtering. All right, it already turned it on when you hit bidirectional D-shot, okay? Hit save, just for fun. Go to the motors tab. See the little error % things over the motor now?
Over here?
Over the slider now.
Yeah.
Oh.
You see RPM and error. Spin up a motor and see what happens. Your error should be 0, and it should read the engine, the motor RPM. So that means you do have RPM filtering and it's working. So that's another check. That's a good thing. Yeah, you hit the master slider and move all of them, and then see if you want errors to be 0. So that looks okay.
Okay.
All right, Vinny and Mitch, I gotta give my back some straightening
Yeah,
out.
I think we're gonna probably.
If you do it again,
call
let me
we're
know.
gonna
Send me an
call it
email.
here.
I'll
Well,
be here.
I think that it's been one of those days. I had Mike Kinney called me today. He's having problems with binding a crossfire receiver that just all of a sudden stopped working, and we can't get it rebound again. And we tried everything, and I'm convinced that the receiver went bad. And we were on the phone for an hour or so with that thing. So it's frustrating. We got.
We made progress though.
All right, Vinny, go ahead and unshare the screen.
Okay.
And unplug your air unit so it doesn't burn.
Yeah, unplug everything, turn everything off, and you're all ready to go. Everything is set.
At least your motors.
We just gotta have
except for the modes tab, where you tell it which is the arm switch, which throws it into acro, the mode switch. But the only thing in Betaflight that needs to be configured yet, in the receivers tab, you have to make sure that you noticed up at the top it said TAER, the channel mapping.
Oh yeah,
AETR, if the wrong stick moves the wrong channel,
if it's
you have to change it, I don't know what the DJI defaults to, whether it defaults to AETR or TAER, but when you go back into the receiver tab and the receiver's working and that little drone is spinning around like crazy, that means you got the mapping wrong. That's easy to fix. Then you go on the modes tab and you'll set up an arming mode, and you basically, since Betaflight detects the switch, you go ahead and say, click add range, and then you just click the switch you want to do the arming, and it'll set it up for that switch, and then you move the yellow slider around to where you want it armed, which position armed, which not armed, and you do the same for modes.
You know about that stuff, Vinny?
And flip over after crash.
I guess a couple of times.
Project Blue Falcon, if you need help.
Yeah,
he's a good channel.
But that's real basic Betaflight stuff. Once the receiver's working, so we have the motors straightened out, the flight controllers flashed with all the new software,
and I'm going to straighten out my back. Goodbye.
Okay, Carlos, thanks for the help,
buddy.
Take
care, guys.
Yeah, thanks so much. I really appreciate your time. Thanks so much.
Anytime. Nice to meet you too, Vinny. Be well.
Yeah, likewise.
Okay, so that basically that's all I can think of as far as we set up the RPM filtering, the ESC protocol is right, motors are running the right direction, all the rest of the little configuration stuff look right.
Just the receiver, I guess, at this point, right?
Right. And what you might want to do now before you shut it all down is do another diff all and save it to yet another file. And then take all of these CLI files that you keep dumping and put them in a directory somewhere for this quad.
Okay.
And they'll be you sort them by date, so you always know which is the newest and which is the oldest. You don't even have to name them because it'll name it Squirt. You'll see the word Squirt and then the date and time of the dump. And after you make a lot of changes like we just did, do another one. So now you have one before we mapped the motors, you have one after we made all these other changes, and that way if you screw something up in the next step, you can restore it back to this, yeah. So yeah, I think we did. I think we accomplished most of what we solved the major problems, which was getting the right motors in the right places.
That was a horrible step that I couldn't figure out. So again, I really appreciate your time. Thank you so much.
Oh, my pleasure.
I really appreciate you doing this and bringing people in to help me, because this has been a hell of a process, and it's been hard to do this by myself. So I really appreciate your time, and thanks again.
You're welcome. And everybody thinks I know it all, and you can see that, I have to look shit up, and there's nobody can know all this stuff. There's so many.
This is crazy.
Oh, Kelly, I saw Kelly gave me a super chat. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, super chat. Thank you, Kelly. I appreciate that. Hey, Kelly, you may be able to help them with this last step. We cannot get Betaflight to see the transmitter.
Yeah, Everything's
got
connected.
everything is set.
sound.
Everything's correct. I've never used one of those transmitters, and I know you do, and you may know somebody that can help them through this last step. We got all the rest of the stuff except the stupid transmitter to show up as a receiver. We have in the configuration, we have it set as a serial receiver, sbus protocol. We have the UART set to serial RX according to the diagram of the flight controller that he has. And he says we're getting ready for a get together on Sunday. We can try on Sunday. Okay, but at any rate, we got it all done, and you know how to set up modes tabs. You've done that. So basically, it's to get the receiver working, set the arming mode and the flight mode switch, and beeper or flip turtle mode or whatever, with the modes tabs and Betaflight, and everything else should be ready to go. So There you go.
I did have one last question, if you got 2 seconds.
No, sure.
The cable that we talked about beforehand that wasn't working, that was long enough for the air unit to be able to fit in there, and now the shorter cable, it doesn't allow that. So I'm wondering if I have this cable here, if you can see this guy, but it doesn't have the clip on the end. Is that hard to do if I have one of these that to put this clip on here, this plug? Is that
does it have the pins on it, or it's just wires on that one, isn't it?
On this one, it has it on. Let's see here, I can't see. One
they
side
pins, or is that just pre-soldered, or is that just tinned? That's if that's no.
It has the plastic piece, so that's what you.
No, but the bare ends, the other end, they just tin. No, the other
they're
end
not
of the cable.
tinned, but they're stripped. But
yeah, they're just tinned. So no, you can't put a connector on that, and there's no way you're going to crimp those tiny little things on there. I can't believe you got a bad cable.
I don't know. Maybe I pulled one loose or something.
Well, check.
Like
look at the connector. It's going to be the power. It's going to be one of the where I guess it's a red wire. You have a red and a black, or is it all? What is it? Hold up the bad wire. Let me see what that looks like.
Well, I guess the bad wire is here.
Hold it up. All right, so you got a red and a black, right? Those are the power. So it's going to be one of those two, because you didn't get any power to it. So look carefully and see if any of those little pins have been pulled out.
Sure looks like it's in there, but yeah, I mean, it looks like it's in there, but who knows?
Nothing looks bent or banged up or anything. I can't imagine a wire goes bad.
Yeah, I mean, it looks fine from my eye, but I don't necessarily know what I'm looking at.
I don't know. Maybe one of the guys there near you has a longer cable.
Okay. Yeah, maybe I can run to the hobby store and see if I can maybe.
No, there's no way a hobby store is going to have that. That's a pretty specialized cable to go from a T-motor flight control, T-motor stack to a DJI.
Go to like DJI. Yeah, it's probably.
Yeah, Walgreens probably has it in the foot fungus aisle.
Get some shampoo on there too, or something.
Yeah. The only other alternative to make a cable longer is to cut it, and in other words,
solder it.
Cut your short cable and splice them, and then put heat shrink. But that's a real Rube Goldberg kludged up way of doing a quad.
Oh God.
Or you could. I mean, you don't have it, but as part of the. Let me find it here. As part of the well-equipped workshop. Where's what I'm looking for here? Yeah, as part of the well-equipped workshop. Here, let me make you small again. I made you big so I could see that. We have these kits. See?
I bought one of these.
And does it? Yeah, but yours doesn't.
But
Yours is not. Yours is bigger.
It's way
This
too
one is the tiny little size that has the same kind of plugs as what you're working with, and it comes with all different color wires that already have the tiny little pins crimped.
gosh.
So you would basically take 6 of these and then have to put
Stick it in there.
and make in the little tiny connectors and make, and even comes with a pair of the sharpest tweezers that you've ever seen. Look at these at these tweezers. It comes with that kit came with these tweezers so that you could actually grab those little pins from the wires in the back and push them in.
That's crazy.
It's jeweler's work is what it is. It's really absurd. But yeah, so this is yet another kit. There's kits with this size connectors, with the next size up, and then the next size up. It's crazy what you need if you're gonna be doing this. And even with all this crap, the one thing that you need is the one thing you don't have anyway. So.
Of course.
All right. So you know what you got to do.
Yeah.
And I think we've done all we can do tonight. I was hoping to see you flying it around the room tonight, but I guess not.
Me too, but maybe one day.
Okay, well, keep in touch and let me know.
I will do. Mitch, again,
All
thank
right,
you so
buddy.
much for your time. I really appreciate it.
Oh, my pleasure. Thanks. I enjoyed it, and we had a good time, and we can watch this live stream now at a replay and laugh our asses off about stupid mistakes.
All right. Sounds good.
All right,
Thank you so much.
All
Cheers.
right, take care. Okay, guys, that was interesting, and I think we accomplished something, and I think we might have learned something too. So, I know I learned a few things tonight. I learned that I don't want to have one of those DJI transmitters. That's for sure. I'm going to stick with my Radio Master and my jumper. I like the DJI FPV stuff. But between you and me, when it comes to this, the fewer things that say DJI on them, the easier it is to make them work and fix them and all of that. So, all right. With that being said, guys, I think that I will bring in a little exit music here and say goodnight to everybody. So, thanks for watching. Thanks for coming into this impromptu stream. And with all that being said, I will see you, if not before, next Monday night. Not this coming Monday, but the week after. Next Monday night at 7 p.m. And we're going to do the FPV workshop on a weekly basis, and we're all going to learn things. So I'm going to turn it over to my trusty sidekick, Spank, the monkey here, and we'll let him say goodnight. And I'll see you next time.